Hey everybody, welcome to the Swing of Things. My name is Joe Barna, and I have the esteemed pleasure to sit down with my new favorite pizza maker and business owner, Alex Chronopoulos.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Alex, thank you for coming in. We are actually sitting inside of the brand new Pizzeria Mare in Troy, New York. I came here for the very first time 2 weeks ago. I was at my daughter's chorus recital at a church in downtown Troy. We're in Troy, New York, and I saw a review from 518 Eats on Facebook of this new pizza place in Troy, and they went bananas over it, right? And I'm like, I'm from Troy, I don't know this place. And I was confused. So I looked you up, and I saw the address, and I'm like, that can't be right. Because I know it's a garage, right? And I'm like, there's no pizza place over there. So just based on the enthusiasm that those people had in the video, after her recital, it was actually my mother's birthday weekend. And I hadn't gotten a chance to eat with her. So I said, I really got to go try this pizza place. Is that okay? And she's like, pizza? I was like, trust me. I was like, based on the review, I think it's going to be fine. So I asked my daughter if she wanted to go, and you were about to close. So I said, we have to leave right now because they're about to close. So we came over here, and I walked in, and I was shocked, first of all, at the location, because I drive by this every day, and I had no idea this was here. But when I walked in, and I smelled it, and I saw there wasn't that many people in here. It was late at night. You're about to close, but there was about 3 people in here. Everybody looked very happy. The pizzas looked amazing, and I went to order a pizza with Michelle, your partner, and she said, I'm so sorry, we're out of dough. I can't really make you a pizza. And I explained my situation to her and how excited I was. And I was too excited. I apologize. I got very hyped up, man. And then you're sitting at the oven and you're listening to us and you just go like this. You go, I'll get a dough. And I went, wow, they're going to do that for me. So I knew right away that I'd come into the right place. But you have an awesome story as far as I'm concerned. I think your story is very compelling. You're from Jersey.
That's right.
And your dad was a baker.
That's right, yep.
He owns you want to give a little shout out to him?
Yeah, of course. Shout out to Bagel Loops, Wayne, New Jersey. I've been in business for about 32 years now. My dad's there every day making bagels the old school way, boiled and baked. It's amazing.
And he wouldn't let you work there.
Yeah, no.
Which is so weird. He wouldn't allow you cannot work here.
No. Growing up, I never set foot in the bagel shop to work. I mean, I was there all the time.
Did you ever help?
Not at all.
No. Not at all.
I was there after school, just like sitting on a milk crate, like playing video games, SNES in the back. But I had never sliced a bagel and never had done anything at the bagel shop.
How does it? I imagine that you probably have a lot of respect for your father, so you probably wanted to help. You probably wanted to at least learn the business. Am I correct? Were you kind of interested or curious at all?
No, not really.
Really? Okay.
I mean, he's definitely an inspiration to me. Seeing how hard he worked his whole life, and now especially reflecting back and being where I am now, just how much work he did to raise me as well as provide for the family. It was really incredible. But no, I never really felt compelled to work or help him. He seemed to have everything under control. He was very much like a one-man show,
okay,
especially in the beginning. But just being in that environment, I think, seeped into me in some way.
Well, I think if your dad watches this, I think he should really consider opening a bagel shop in Troy.
Yes.
We could really, really use a bagel shop, folks. We had one here, Psychedelic Bagels or whatever, about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And they made pretty good bagels. And Bruegger's was here, now they're gone. And Troy is definitely a bagel town. Mm-hmm. I would say that. People love bagels. And we have to go to the supermarket. We have to travel out of Troy to get them now. And I think it's a shame. Or maybe you could branch off into a bagel. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But you had a strange path to pizza. I know that you have a passion for it. But you just told me that you were working for an IT company.
That's right.
Right? Before you did this. And I think it's a weird transition. It's kind of strange. I guess it's, like I said earlier, I think it's in your DNA maybe that you just have this compulsion to want to be in food. because you come from that. And you said there's a couple generations, right? There's a couple generations of people being involved in making food, right?
Yeah, my grandfather on my father's side was a restaurateur and a chef for many years. He came from Greece, got a job as a dishwasher, and then worked his way all the way up to chef owner of several restaurants in northern New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
And my father would work for him, waiting tables, cooking and whatnot.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there's definitely some lineage there.
Well, I'll tell you this, when I was in Greece, I worked on cruise ships. I was a drummer for multiple different cruise lines. And one of the advantages to doing that job, which I didn't think about initially when I took it, and I was homeless at the time, and I got this weird phone call from a friend of mine who lives in California who I hadn't talked to in 18 years, right? And I was literally home. I was sleeping on a floor in a warehouse. Like, I was broke. And I'm at Barnes and Nobles. And I go into the bathroom, and I come back, and my friend Tony was sitting at the table. He goes, "You just got a phone call from California." I said, "I don't know anybody in California." And he goes, "Well, just check it out, because they left a message." So I listened to it, and it's my friend Joe Conroy, and he works for Princess Cruise Lines. And he's like, "Hey," I call him back, "Hey, Joe, what's going on, man?" He's like, I said, "Well, I don't know if I want to tell you, actually, And he's like, "Why not? What's going on?" I said, "Man, things aren't going so well." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's happened?" I said, "Well, I lost everything, man. I'm broke. I'm homeless. I'm just trying to survive." And he's like, "That's great news, because I have a question for you." And I said, "What's that?" He goes, "You want to live on a cruise ship?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I'm the booking agent for Princess Cruise Lines." And he says, "We can't find a drummer. We have an emergency." I was like, "Is this for real?" He said, "Yeah." So 2 days later, I'm getting my passport. They're flying me to St. Lucia. I get on this cruise ship, and it was amazing. But the thing that didn't blow me away was the experience of playing on a cruise ship. What blew me away was the access to things that I'd never had access to before. Food was a big one. Mm-hmm. Every day we were at a different port, and everybody has different food. And I was doing the Mediterranean. So we're stopping in Italy, we're stopping in France, we're stopping at all. And the place that actually I loved the most, as far as food goes, was Greece.
Okay.
It was so fresh. Everything was vibrant. The flavors. It's a funny story. I get off the ship, my friends were all buying food and stuff, and I was stupid. I was green. I'm from Troy, New York. I didn't know what I was doing. But I wasn't going to order anything. I'm in line with them at this place, and the guy's like, "Are you going to eat?" I said, "No, I'm good." He's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "I'm good." He goes, "My friend, I'm going to make you some food. I'm going to give it to you. If you like it, you can pay for it. If you don't like it, I won't charge you." All right, right? So he makes me a gyro. It's not called a gyro. It's a gyro, all right?
That's right.
So he makes me a gyro, and I took the first bite, and it's like when I had DeFara pizza for the first time. My body got tingly. It was so good. It was different than what I've gotten in the States. Whole different vibe. Not only did I pay for it, I went back and got another one. So Greek food was one of the first foods that I had when I was working for the ship that really kind of changed my perspective on what is possible. That doesn't happen all the time, which we have discussed. Some stuff can be very underwhelming.
Sure.
But anyway, I feel very connected to the Greek culture now. Not that I know a lot about it, but having been there and having tried the food, I can see why it's such a part of the infrastructure of the culture. But let me know about your transition from IT to pizza, how that came about. Was this always in the works, in the back of your mind? Was this something that you were thinking about even before you took the IT job, or did it just kind of spin that way as you were going through the motions at your job?
Yeah, so it started around when I was 19, 20, out of high school.
How old are you now?
36.
Okay, so still young.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get into any colleges. I had pretty poor grades in school. So I took a few classes at a community college just to learn IT and maybe go into that field. And around that time, I started cooking for myself. just because I was like a real chubby kid. I wanted to lose some weight.
Wow, I can't imagine that, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started like cooking all my favorite foods, one of which, of course, was pizza. I was a real picky eater, so I had like maybe 5 things I would eat. Pizza was one of them.
I think that's okay, man. You can get a lot out of a pizza, man.
Exactly, yeah. So I tried to make dough, I tried to make pizza, and the first one I made, I was like, this is the most challenging, difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Like, I need to figure this out.
What was the most difficult part?
Everything.
There's a science behind it, man. It's
Absolutely,
chemistry.
yeah.
I don't think people understand that. That's something you should really talk about. I want to hear about the transition first, but one thing I'm very curious about, and I've talked to you multiple times about this, is that I wouldn't say the majority, it was definitely a minority, but there's a minority of individuals I don't think that own pizza places that understand the depth of the chemistry involved specifically in the dough.
Yeah.
You have to change your dough based on the season and the humidity and what the conditions are in the kitchen that day. And a lot of people, I find that they just don't do it. And it's whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody can do whatever they want. But when you find someone like yourself, when you take that first bite and you realize, oh, this is different, it's very impressive, but it's a satisfaction that you can't really explain. You know, it's like having a great steak or anything else. I don't look at pizza as a fast food.
Right.
I think most people do. I look at pizza as a meal, and I want my meal to be great. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just how I am. Not everybody's that picky, but you know, I think you have just a better quality of life and a better experience eating when you understand the food that you're eating. So you get this IT job, right?
Yeah.
And what happens?
So yeah, I went to community college for a little while, maybe like a year. I quickly got a bunch of IT certifications that I thought I can get a job with. Quit community college, I got a job just like hustling computers to people's desks and like setting them up and then tearing them down and shipping the old ones off back to the vendor, like real grunt IT work. Yeah. And then just kind of built from there. I compounded certifications, got more elevated positions. I eventually was like a manager of a small team.
Did you enjoy it at all?
Yeah, I like computers. There's definitely a different type of creative challenge to it than cooking.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like something I was passionate about, I would say. I eventually got into like a role with a really good manager that was kind of like a mentor to me, that I had a really great experience with.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to admire the person that you're receiving the information from.
Yeah.
It's difficult if you get somebody that's challenging and confrontational. It's hard to want to learn.
Yeah, he really showed me that like a good manager matters a lot, and he coached me and pushed me past my boundaries often, and really grew me into different roles. And I still, you know, think about him and all the stuff he taught me, even here in the pizzeria.
Has he had a pizza yet?
Not yet.
Let's get this guy a pizza.
I know, right?
What's his name?
Clinton Smith.
Clinton Smith, come on. We got a pizza waiting for you, baby. Come on down.
Yeah, so I did that for probably 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
All together.
Wow.
Always with the idea that like, I'm just gonna do this to save enough money to do what I'm really passionate about, which is pizza.
Wow.
So I was cooking that whole time at home, all sorts of food. I'm really into cookbooks. I don't know if you could see them over there, but I have a whole library of pizza books. And I would just make pizza over and over and over again. I would make all sorts of different foods out of cookbooks mostly. I would go to restaurants, try and replicate restaurant dishes.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
You're really passionate about this.
Totally, yeah. One book I read, and there was a lot of obscure ingredients that I had to figure out how to source, and I realized I need to go to a farmer's market. So
Troy, New York has one of the best in the country, man.
Yeah, that's what I found out.
Yeah.
So back in Jersey, I would go to this local farmer's market in Ramsey, New Jersey, where a lot of the same vendors that New York City farms go to would come there as well. And I just fell in love with seasonal produce.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
I would taste like a carrot from the farmer's market and just blow my mind how much different it was from a carrot at the supermarket.
Okay.
And that just happened over and over again. So eventually I would do all my shopping at the farmer's market, and then find, different artisans that I liked for other things like flour and cheeses and all of that. And all kind of just like coalesced in my cooking at home.
That's impressive. Great food takes effort. You can't just walk into a general market and think that you're going to get like all the finest ingredients and the best locally sourced stuff. It's very difficult. And if you do have a market that has that stuff, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So it can be quite a challenge to be able to afford it. Can you mention you're in Troy, New York. Can you mention some of the local products and local vendors that you're sourcing to use in some of your pizzas?
Yeah. So I'm super happy to have the Troy Farmers Market, which I've been frequenting for my whole time here. I've been here about 9 years now, and started with the same farmers that I'm now working with and buying these giant bins of produce from. It's so much fun. So Sprouting Heart Farm, I've been working with a lot. They're right in Brunswick,
Okay.
like 15 miles away. I order things weekly. They pack it up into these bins. I cart it home from the farmers market. Love and Mama Farm I use a lot. Some Mascot Orchards in Kinderhook.
Oh wow, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
Collar City mushrooms?
Color City Mushrooms, yeah, at Indian Ladder Farm. They do urban mushroom growing, which are phenomenal. Such a clean flavor. Also, Edible Uprising Farm right here in Troy.
Okay.
They're like right up the road, 5 miles away.
Now, did you get you have andouille sausage? Is that, or what is it? You have?
Yeah.
So is that from here?
So it's andouille. It's like a spicy Calabrian pork sausage.
Okay.
That I get from my friends at La Salumina, downstate.
Okay.
They're about an hour and a half away, kind of near the Jersey border.
See, when I asked you to originally do this, right? You said, I don't know if it'd be that interesting, but you're like one of the most interesting people I know, like at this point. It's like, you come from a family of bakers. He wouldn't let you work there. You got an IT gig. And then you get this gig, and now you're including the community in your vision.
Yeah.
It's like this is a community effort, This
Absolutely.
Is what you're doing is absolutely amazing. I don't know if you know that yet. I think you're gonna, because of your efforts in the community and including others, I believe sooner than later, you're gonna be in a position where you're gonna need a much larger space. Unfortunately, because I know it can be really nice to have a cozy little space and be happy doing this, and you don't have to have too many employees and all that, but what you're doing for people around here and what you've brought as far as your vision and your product is definitely elevating the experience around here. I hope it catches on. I hope other people realize how special their pizza can be or their restaurant can be. And for those that aren't, man, let's be honest, owning a restaurant's tough. It's hard. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of hours. You can get disgruntled. You can start cutting corners. But you're not doing that, and you're finding a lot of success. And I hope that it becomes like infectious. Thanks for using local stuff. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. So you're cooking all this stuff. You're trying all this stuff at home. You're in this IT gig. At what point did you say, you know what, I'm gonna go for it?
It was really when I found this space.
Is that all you were waiting for? Just a space?
A space and money. I knew that I needed enough money to buy all this equipment and do all this renovation and get this crazy mural.
Which I love this, man. When I walked in, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
this reminds me of the Village, the West Village.
Right.
Like, it's got that New York intensity to it, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I love, there's a little cat on the wall over here. You got spaceships.
Exactly.
What's up with the cats?
So Pizzeria Mari is actually named after my cat.
Not your grandmother, not your.
I got her when she was a little kitten. Right.
I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, right when I moved to Troy. So she came with me from New Jersey, and she's the sweetest cat.
That's hilarious.
And then, this mural is by Scott Chassie out of Woodstock. He came here over a couple days and painted this. It's incredible. The bar was made by a local artisan, Jamie Barker at a Barkwolf Studios. Yeah.
So
So I knew I needed the money.
Yeah, okay.
And then I knew I needed like a safety net. So I was just waiting to hit like a particular number before I felt comfortable.
So you're smart, is what you're saying.
Right. But there was like a struggle. Like there was like maybe 2-3 years where I was ready to go, but couldn't do it. You know, like I couldn't find the right place.
This is kind of peculiar place, man. I got to be honest. That's what I said. When I saw it on the map, I'm like, there's no pizza place. Why would there be a pizza place there? It's kind of like barren a little bit. You know, you're looking across, you got shipping containers in the middle of somebody's yard over here. You've got abandoned cars. You've got your whole parking lot's torn apart.
Yep.
You got a tattoo parlor attached to a designer like wheel place for cars. Like,
Yep.
But you are right across the street from the ale house.
That's right.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So-
great beer, great wings.
Yeah,
I
plus
think
it's-
perfect pairing.
Joe Daly,
Yeah.
the guy that's there full time, he's a good friend of mine. He's a great drummer. He's a community guy. You know,
Absolutely,
he's a wonderful human being.
Yeah.
So, but the place, I'm like, this is really odd. And when I drove into the parking lot, I'm like, I would never know this was here. I drive by it every day, you know. But you did it looks amazing. This place is awesome.
Thank you.
You know, why this place?
It was mostly our neighbors, Touchy Coffee. They're a real inspiration to me. They used to have a cafe on 4th Street in Troy called Superior Merchandise.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they bought this old building from the city that was about to be torn down.
This whole building is theirs?
No, the one on 4th Street.
Oh, okay.
And they completely renovated it themselves. They built this cafe and retail space and then ran it themselves, just the 2 partners. For a long time.
You want to give them a shout out? Who are they? What's their names?
Yeah, Mike and Felicity, Touchy Coffee.
Okay.
I saw that and I was like, wow, they're doing it. I could probably do something like this. And they grew this community. They did a lot of the same things. They would bring in a lot of local artisans and sell their merchandise.
Yeah, they were great. They're right around the corner from my apartment.
Yeah, at the retail space. They would work with all different types of coffee producers that they respected. So we would frequent there, and we saw that community, and I thought, well, I think all these people that appreciate what they're doing with the coffee would also appreciate what I want to do with pizza.
So would you say they were the tipping point for you? Like,
Yeah.
like getting involved with them and looking at their business model was kind of like, you know what? It's time. I can do this.
Yeah. So they used to have a little grocery that was kind of like a Superior Merchandise, like light in this space. And then
wow.
the chef that was doing breakfast sandwiches right where I have the pizza oven moved on to a different pizzeria up in Rensselaerville called B Golden Farms, which is awesome. Definitely check it
What's
out.
the name of it?
B Golden Farms.
B Golden Farms?
Yeah.
Okay,
they do
I don't know it.
Neapolitan style pizza. The pizza maker worked at Roberta's in New York City for a long time.
I've been to Roberta's many times.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I
Definitely-
play right down the street from there. Ornithology Jazz Club.
Oh, yeah.
Roberta's is like 3/4 of a mile, so we'll walk over there right before that. And there's another place. If you walk outside of Ornithology Jazz and you take a left and go to the corner and take another left, there's a pizza spot 3 doors down. I can never remember the name of it, but I go there too. I go between the two. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. That, you know, I think all it takes is a little bit of inspiration and maybe that one person or that one business that launches us into that next level. I think it's the same with music. It's the same. It just takes one person to inspire you to the point where you believe, I can do this. You know, you have to see it being done. Some people are just courageous. They'll just do it. They don't care. But for me, I know for me, I like to see that somebody that was in my position did it.
Right.
You know, it's like just this YouTube channel. It took me 20 years to convince myself to do this. But I just knew it was time. And meeting people like yourself, meeting people like Spike Wilner, who owns all these jazz clubs in New York City, Gary Simoleon, you know, he's a good friend of mine. You know, he's won like 10 Grammys, and he wins Best Baritone Player in the World every year for Downbeat Magazine. But he's a good friend of mine, you know. And I'm just Chris Garabedian, who I just interviewed, which is arguably the most powerful conversation I've ever had with a human in my life. Just having these people around, I just finally got inspired, man, by you guys. And I believed, you know what, I can do this, and I'm going to do it. You know, I think once you come face to face with those individuals who you trust enough. Also, you got a huge support system. It seems like these guys, you knew them, so you've got the support of the community behind you in going into this endeavor. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
So you got the space, you built it out. It's absolutely amazing. But I want to get your perspective,
Okay.
on a variety of individuals, and you can say whatever you like about them. You can describe if they inspired you in any way or not. But I have a list right here.
Okay.
All right. Now, one of these I'm going to leave that for last because I never heard of them,
Okay.
and you claim they're the best.
Okay.
All right. So we'll leave that for last. But I'm going to mention some names, and I want you to tell me what you think about these people.
Great.
Dom DeMarco.
Yeah, Tafara Pizza. I had Tafara, I don't know, very early on in my pizza journey, and it blew my mind. I went there when Dom was still alive. He was behind the oven.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Him with no gloves on or anything. He'd stick his hand right in the oven.
He would, yeah. He would spin the pizzas with his hands, which is crazy.
Crazy, man.
He would snip basil off of a little basil tree that they grew there. Obscene amount of olive oil. And I tasted that pizza for the first time. I was like, wow, this is something
Fantastic.
different.
What was the cheese? He uses a special kind of cheese. What is it?
He uses 4 different cheeses, I believe, like a fresh mozzarella, a low moisture mozzarella, and then pecorino and Parmesan, which was very unusual for New York City.
Yeah, it's a weird mix. Usually you'll put some of that on after it's done, whatever. You'll choose to put, but he blended it himself, and he had his own recipe for that stuff.
Yeah. Or you would have 2 different pies. You would have your regular cheese, and then you would have like maybe a margarita. But he kind of made a hybrid, which is very unique.
As I was saying, that was the first time I had a pizza where I realized it's a meal. It's not fast food. That was the first time. I heard so much hype about it, and I've seen so many reviews about it. And from Frank Pannella, he talked about it. And then I saw Mike Portnoy's review. It's the highest review he's ever given, I believe, ever, is Tafara. And I was like, all right. What's the hype with pizza, And so I made it a trip. Me and my friend Scott, we went to New York, got a hotel, and then we traveled in and out of the boroughs and tried pizza. And when we had Tafara, I was speechless. I was actually speechless. My friend thought I was sick or I was choking because I wasn't saying anything. But it gave me tingles.
Yeah.
When I took that first bite, I got goosebumps. I didn't realize that pizza could be like this. And it made me realize, there's got to be more then, right? It can't just be him.
Right.
So I tailspinned into Pizzaholic, man. Going to West Haven, New Haven, New Jersey, the boroughs, going to Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, whatever. Just trying. I was like, all over the place, out of the general northeast of the country. But I thought Tafara was something special, and seeing him back there because he had passed, I believe, right? Did he pass? Did Don DeMar? I think he's not working there, or he might have passed. I'm not sure, but
yeah, he did.
Last time I was there, the daughter took over.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time I was in there, he was in there and he made the pizza. And one of the coolest things about them is if you want a slice, you've got to wait until an entire pie is sold, because he will not sell you slices.
Right.
He's got to sell the whole pie. So I'm sitting there waiting for my slice. It's like 45 minutes later. I'm like, dude, do you have our slices? They're like, well, we have to sell all 8 slices before we can make it. And I was like, whoa, that's deep, man. It was amazing, though. I get it. You're getting what everybody would get if they came in there for dinner and ordered a whole pie with their family.
Yeah, exactly.
They wanted you to have the same product. It was fantastic. How about Frank Pannella?
Yeah, Frank Pannella, Best Pizza. Definitely an early inspiration as well. I mean, I would watch YouTube videos all the time. I watched The Pizza Show.
I've seen every episode.
Yeah.
I binged watched it, actually.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I would watch that, and then I was really excited to go to Best Pizza in Williamsburg, and I finally went there, and especially the white pie really blew me away with the sesame seeds. I'd never seen that before.
He's a chef. He's a bona fide chef.
Yeah, he went to the CIA.
He went to CIA, yeah.
All of his ingredients are super high quality, a super simple menu, kind of like what I'm doing here.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
And space-wise too, very similar.
Definitely. Yeah.
But his oven's crazy.
Yeah, the wood oven.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That oven's sick. It's like, what, 500 years old? And it looks like,
Yeah.
you know, I walked in there, I'm like, this is it? You know what I mean? This is what I drove 3 hours for? But then I think the grandma slice in there is like, I never had anything like it again. Do you do that? You don't do any grandma pies, do you?
Not yet. I definitely want to branch out into some other styles,
Okay.
maybe like on a limited basis. But
What about in Detroit? Would you attempt to Detroit?
Yeah, I actually have 40 pans that I bought.
My man,
Yeah.
you let me know. That's my next review, man.
Yeah.
The Frank's an inspiration.
Yeah, Frank's amazing.
He's passionate.
I don't know if you've been to Ali's Pizza in Hayes Falls, but
No.
Frank consulted and helped open that place. So,
I watched the build out of it. I've
Yeah.
seen shows about it and stuff.
yeah, so you don't have to go too far to get that white slice.
Okay, I
Just
haven't
go an
had
hour
it.
south.
Where is it again?
Hayes Falls. It's about an hour south of Troy.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
definitely worth a day trip.
Are they open on a Monday? I don't know. What about this is the big one. This is a big one. It's the hottest pizza place in the United States right now. Julian Geldmacher and Jacob Serebnik.
Yeah, of course, Series. I think I'm saying that right.
Series.
Yeah.
Yep, Series Pizza.
Series, we've been a few times. We took 3 trips to New York City just to go around, and we hit Series every time. Waited in the line for an hour and a half.
Worth every second, though, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, they're definitely, like you're saying, leveling up the pizza game. They're doing something different. They're doing something new. Their flavor combinations are spot on. And yeah, we just sat there and watched them during service, and the space is immaculate. There wasn't a drop of dust anywhere there.
No.
They have the whole system down, and it was a real inspiration just seeing how they worked. And I took very many things back here.
Well, I've had people compare your pizza to Series. When I mention yours and people have been there. Also, like I said, I feel bad that you're going to get really busy, like extremely busy. You're already busy. But I've probably had 100 people come in here that I know from the reviews that I put up.
Yeah.
And
We felt it.
oh yeah, oh, you're going to feel it again.
Yeah.
Okay, just wait. I'm going to make sure. But the people that have been to New York and had pizzas like Series have said this is definitely the closest thing they've had to that level of pizza experience. And they thanked me. I get messages all the time. Thank you so much for it. I got Rick Bedrosian. Did he come in here?
I believe so.
Okay, now he's a huge pizza reviewer, or food reviewer. And he just won a national award or international award
Wow.
for his documentary about food.
Okay.
So, and he gave it like an A+ rating.
Wow.
That's a huge endorsement. All right. Those are the types of people that are gonna. I got friends from New York City right now, Brooklyn and Manhattan. They're messaging me like, "Yo, dude, I got to make an appointment to come up with you and go to this place." So you're definitely making an impact like Series, but in a different community.
Right.
They have a similar path to you too. They
Yeah.
did something else before they were doing the pizza. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, they worked at 11 Madison Park for a while. And I think that definitely translates into their flavors. It's not the usual New York style pizza that you see. Their white pie is like based on tarte flambe, which is really unique. Their mushroom pie, definitely unusual. And then one pie that I took inspiration from was their andouille. It's never seen anything like it. I tasted one bite and it blew me away. And it was like, I have to bring this back to Troy in some fashion.
Right. Well, I don't look at them as pizza makers. Again, I don't take this as a sign of respect. I don't think that you're a pizza guy. I think you're an artist, and I think those guys are artists. I think that they have a vision for food.
Right.
They're not looking at it as a pizza.
Right.
They're looking at it as
Canvas.
a customer's experience.
Yeah.
When they leave, are they going to come back? What would make them pay $68 for a pizza?
Right.
Now, the people I know that have had it said, you know what? It's expensive, and I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like they leveled up. They said, we're just going to do it. We're going to really do it.
Yeah.
I think that pizza has been underpriced for a very long time and I think they can do it because they use inferior ingredients.
Right.
And one thing that's pretty cool, a lot of these places, the employees stay there for life. So they're getting paid well. They're getting treated with respect. I find that like pizza people tend to have a level of respect for their employees a little higher than your typical restaurant. I don't know what it is. It's got to be a cultural thing, you know. I think owners in pizza know how competitive and how hard it is, and they want good people to stay. And They want to have a family environment. When people walk in, it feels like there's a family working there, even if you're not related. You know.
Sure.
I get that here. You know, you and Michelle are amazing. How do you meet? Let's talk about. I'm gonna deviate. Michelle's awesome.
Yeah, she's the best.
She's so nice, and there's just a glow of joy that when you see her, it's like she's got like a glow around her.
Right.
Like, you know, tell me, what is she to your life, and what is she to the business?
Yeah, I mean, she changed my life, no doubt about it. It was a real crazy happenstance, honestly. I was working the IT job early in my career. Maybe I was like 25 years old. I was managing a team of people, and I really disliked it. I was at the end of that job and looking to do something different. I was very much looking to move to New York City.
Oh, wow. I'm glad you didn't, man.
Yeah. So I was right in the middle of that. I was looking at apartments. I was ready to do it. And I, on a whim, went to this music show in Hudson. I read about it. It sounded interesting. I was really into music, still am. And I just drove up there an hour and a half from New Jersey. The day of the show, they happen to have tickets still available. And I was at the show, and the music was like much more harsh than I had anticipated. There was a lot of like black metal being played, and it just wasn't right for my headspace at the time. So I walked out of the venue, and I was sitting outside on this metal gate, and Michelle was right next to me, and I was just drinking water, and she said, "Oh, hey, what do you think of the music?" I was like, it's a little too harsh for me. It's not good for my head right now. And she was like, yeah, same. She was like, do you want to take a walk?
Wow, really?
Yeah. And we took a walk.
Well, you better thank that band, bro.
Right.
You better email them and say, guys, I got to tell you something.
Yeah. And we took this walk up the...
Thank God I hated you. I wouldn't have walked outside.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy. And we took this walk up the road to this little park along the Hudson River, and we had a great conversation. And at the end of that, we exchanged email addresses. She lived here in Troy, I lived still in New Jersey, and we would email back and forth. We kind of like start a relationship like that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful story, man. She's wonderful. Now, what is she to the business? What do you feel like she brings to this? I know as a customer, but I would like to hear it from you because you guys are such a great team. I see the way you work. She has her duties. You have your duties. I've been in here 3 times. I haven't seen any type of frustration or conflict in the kitchen. And if there is, you don't make it noticeable. It seems like a really comfortable situation for the two of you. So what is she? First of all, who makes the cookies?
Michelle.
They're awesome.
Yeah, it's all
I
her.
do not like sweets. I hate sweets. I don't eat them. Even on holidays. I'm not interested, man.
Yeah.
You know, I like pizza, hot food. I like really spicy food and salt. You know.
Yeah, our cookie's definitely salty.
Your cookies are salty. I took a bite. I was like, oh my God. You know, like wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The cookies are amazing. Go, Michelle. More cookies. You can open a bakery. You guys could. It's limitless for you guys. I feel like there's a lot of things you could be doing. Mm-hmm. You know. But so, tell me about your feelings about her within the business.
Yeah, she's essential. She's the queen of hospitality in my mind. She makes everybody feel welcome, like their family, like they belong here, no matter who walks through the door. She helps with the some of the fruit preparation, finishing slices and pies. Yep. She's like my right hand in the kitchen and in this space. I really couldn't be doing it without her.
You can tell. There's an energy in this cute little space that is, I always use the word compelling because it is, because I can't, it's difficult to describe. It just gives me a feeling when I walked in. It's like when I go to church or something. I feel very welcomed. I feel like I belong there, you know, or putting on like the perfect pair of shoes, or, you know, taking a warm shower after a long day. That's what it feels like. I walk in here and I'm happy to be here. Maybe I'm too happy sometimes, you know, but I think it's okay. You know what I mean? I think it's okay to get excited about things, you know, and be forward about it. You know, don't let people know.
Absolutely.
Know? But you got a great thing going on. I think the two of you are a gem, and I'm glad you decided to come to Troy. To be honest, I mean, I don't want to discount what other people have brought to Troy. Like Vic Christopher, I think he's done amazing things for Troy. He was the first guy to bring a high-end business downtown.
Right.
They tried it one time with Tosca. There was a restaurant in Troy. They tried a high-end restaurant. It was a bad time to do that. It wasn't ready for it. But he opened up Lucas Confectionery with his then partner Heather, and it kind of like spawned off into all these businesses in that central area of Troy. So I think he's very valuable. Chris Ryan at Ryan's Wake.
Yeah.
Very valuable. What he has done with that space and brought to Troy is monumental, and it's never going to go away. It's an institution. Garrett Brown at Brown's Brew Pub.
Yeah.
It's never going to go away. I know it's never going anywhere. You know, Dinosaur Barbecue from Syracuse, they opened up here. They've been very successful. So Troy has become a hub for people with a vision.
Right.
It's pretty cool, man. It's like it's not your corporate environment. You know, it's like a total opposite.
Yeah.
Everything's privately owned.
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys have brought something that Troy has been waiting for a very, very long time. And you can see it. I mean, I walked in the other day. Man, you looked exhausted, first of all, but they would not stop coming in.
Yeah.
People were just droves of people coming in here. It's because I think a lot of it starts with I want pizza, and then it ends with I really love those guys. So that's a great job on your part.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I mean, being a kid from New Jersey, suburban New Jersey, like seeing all these businesses that with like a unique vision was like so inspiring to me. Like where I come from, it was like, you know, Chili's, Houlihan.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Whatever, like
yeah, I
it was
know.
all these
That's
corporate chains.
Exactly what I'm saying. This is like.
And I was like, wow, this is something different.
Well, this city, I think, gives people the empowerment and the confidence to believe that they can do it too.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know? And you don't have to do it on anybody else's terms.
Right.
You don't have to follow the corporate model. You don't have to, your business doesn't have to look like anybody
I
else's.
could have cats and spaceships.
You can have cats and spaceships and sell pizza, man.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the name of your bakery. Cats and spaceships. Everybody will go. They're gonna do it. Where's the cats, man?
Yeah.
I want to get my cat neutered. What's going on? Right. How about Frank Tutelamondo?
Yeah, Mama's too. That was I first went there like after they opened. Took another trip to New York City. I heard about them. I heard that he had a family restaurant called Mama's, which I haven't been to, but he's doing something completely different. Again, like really raised the bar at the time. Really craveable pizzas. I think his vodka sauce is unbeatable. There's just such an attention to detail. Again, a super simple menu, but all the pizzas are incredible. The poached pear, something I've never seen before, but so delicious.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
The squares.
I haven't had it, but I haven't had their pizza yet. But every single person I know that's had it's like, dude, this is phenomenal. I think they just won best pizza in New York City.
Yeah.
I think that's this year, 2026.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my little story because I hadn't seen it in person. I watched a lot of videos about them. Everybody's doing reviews at Mama's too. And I'm like, wow, the square pepperoni slice is what I want. That looks fire. That and the vodka pizza. Those are the two that I got to try. But I was down in New York City last weekend, and I'm outside of, it used to be called Fat Cat. It's now Cellar Dog, the jazz club, and billiard hall and ping pong hall and a bar. And I'm sitting outside of that place because I've got my car parked out there. I had to run to my car. And I saw this couple like sitting on a stoop with a box of pizza, but the box of pizza was open.
Yeah.
And I walked by to go to my car, and I kind of caught it out of the corner of my eye, went to my car, shut the door, started walking back, walked by them, and I stopped and I just walked backwards. The pizza looked like a work of art.
Yeah.
And I just looked at them and I said, where did you get that? They're like, Mama's too. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Where is it? And I didn't know the location of it. I just watched the reviews, and they said, right around the corner. It's like, right around that corner? I got on my phone, and they just closed, right? But just by sight alone, I was impressed to look at it. You know, it looked like a Van Gogh painting or something. I'm like, who's ever making that really cares? Because that looks like finished.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I think that the award is probably warranted. I haven't personally had it yet. It's on my list, I think, this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to go down, is it this weekend or next weekend? I'm going to go down, I think the following weekend. I'm going to go down to hear the Lewis Hayes Quintet. They're doing a tribute to Cannibal Adderley. And I'm going to hit 3 pizza spots. I think I'm going to do Mama's 2. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do Scars. And there was one other one. What did I mention? I had 3 I wanted to hit. But I'm going to hit those 3. But I think I'm going to hit Mama's 2 first before I'm full.
Yeah.
But I just heard nothing but positive stuff about it. And he does have the other restaurant, but I don't think it's a pizza place, right? It's more of a full menu.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Kind of like old school New York.
Right, yeah. So all these chefs are going into pizza, man. All these, like, I think it's becoming like a dining out experience, man. It's cool. It's like it used to be the new DeFazio's. It's packed. Every night that they're open, packed. The place is gorgeous. They have a full menu. They have beautiful pizza ovens in there. But it's becoming like a dining out experience. Pizza has finally become like the forefront of dining out. It's pretty cool. It used to be steak, you know. Now it's pizza, which it's more affordable and I can eat more of it. So. Frank Pepe.
Frank Pepe, yeah. Obviously Pepe's in New Haven. Amazing, like such history. One of the first pizzerias in the country. The old coal oven is incredible to look at. They have those huge peels, which I can't even imagine handling. And just like a totally different style. A lot of char.
I love char, man.
Yeah, same.
I love it.
Yeah, I took a trip to New Haven. Several at this point, but the first time I went, I was just blown away by that style, that char, that deep, crisp, and that's something I try and take a little bit of inspiration from. I don't push it quite as far as most of the New Haven places, but I'm not afraid to like bake a pizza like past what one might consider well done, just because of having had New Haven in the past.
Well, it's a flavor thing. It's like I mentioned steak a lot, but once you cook a steak over medium, you're no longer tasting the steak anymore. Now it's more carcinogenic, it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
You're losing the natural flavor of the meat. So in that case, you want to kind of undercook it. But with pizza, I feel like when it's undercooked, it's so unsatisfying. Like I don't want dough in my mouth. It's like a donut or something. Like I'm chewing dough.
Right.
And I don't find that satisfying at all. You know, maybe at 2:30 in the morning after like going clubbing with my friends or something where I don't care. But I think the char just gives it so much flavor. It's like barbecuing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want that charred, flavor on whatever I'm eating. It's part of the experience. So I loved it. I haven't been to the one in New Haven. I did do a New Haven trip, but I decided instead of Pepe's, I wanted to go to Zupardi's in West Haven.
So good.
And they're in my top 5 all time. I think Zupardi's, as far as Connecticut goes, Zupardi's to me is my number 1.
Yeah.
I absolutely floored by it. I like Sally's too. Sally's is great. I went to Frank Pepe's in Yonkers, and I highly recommend it, by the way. The building itself is worth going to. Just to walk in and see those guys working in that gorgeous space with those ovens. There was one guy who's just doing the coal. He just does the coal. He's just taking it and moving it around like that's his job. It was such a well-organized place, super clean, super friendly. I tipped the guy that sat me. I told you, the guy that sat me, I gave him $10 for sitting me. He sat me better than anybody ever sat me before, if you can believe that. Like, that doesn't even make sense, right? But he showed so much respect for me and appreciated me being there. I'm so thankful you guys chose to come in here tonight. And he's coming over when he didn't have to, and he's like, "Are you guys good? Do you need anything? Can I get you anything?" And he's just a door guy, dude. He's not running the show, He's not the waitress or the cooks, and he just loved. I could tell he loves people. you know? So being in that environment, I felt very welcomed, and I would definitely go back. But I think Pepe's is an institution. You know, I don't think it is an institution. It's become a destination spot for people. The only unfortunate thing is a lot of these places become tourist traps, which is sad, because then they have to just crank it out.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I'm not going to mention any places, but there's a couple places that people absolutely adore that I was really underwhelmed. And I was like, I don't get it. I really just don't get it. And I know that it's good, but there was a line down the street and these guys were just hustling behind there trying to get them out. And like, I'm like, the experience is blown for me at that point. You know, I'm not getting any personalized service. I can see how fast they're putting the pizzas in and out. And it's like, so that's the only unfortunate part. But when you can take on that magnitude of customer base and still give that personalized experience, I think that's what matters to most people. They want to feel welcomed and they want a warm environment. They want to come back. You know, you guys are doing it. I mean, you're certainly doing it. I mean, you just told me a guy comes in all 4 days that you're open. He comes in all 4 days.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
That happens.
You must have a great job. Like, you know, but that's a testament that you go to the same place 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. Those are people, that's like coffee. Every day people, they get coffee, they go to the same coffee place, they order the same coffee, they know that's where they want to be. And if you can do that with food, that's huge, man. This is one of the most well-respected, well-known, I think it's the oldest oven, if I'm not, I might be wrong, correct me, in New York City. The Castellati family and Bob Vittoria.
Okay, we're talking Johnson Bleecker?
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He knows, man.
I mean, first off, that space is iconic.
It's wild. It's all, and where it's located.
Yeah.
You can't park there, man. Like,
No.
you know, you have to make it a destination spot for
Yeah,
yourself.
they got those booths.
Old
yeah.
tables.
Tables, yeah. It's such a great space. And then, yeah, the pizza's phenomenal as well.
Charred.
Yeah, charred as well. So good. Sauce on top, which I'm all about. I think it's the way to do it for sure to maintain that crisp, and then you also taste the tomato more, I think. So yeah, I definitely pull inspiration from John's.
Yeah, that place is amazing. I went there one time, and I definitely was not disappointed. I thought that the vibe was so hip, man. It took me back, man. I felt like I was like in the 50s, man, just being in that space and trying the pizza in that environment. I remember being a little tight sitting in the booth. You know, it was definitely a different time back then. I think people had less girth, you know, but it's fantastic, and you can't replicate that oven.
No.
You can't even put that oven in now. You're not allowed.
Nope.
You know, Patsy's, you know, I had a similar experience at Patsy's in Harlem. Off the beaten path. They're not on my list, but I went in there. That was one of the places I had to try. We did Patsy's, DeFara, Best Pizza, Joe's. It's too much pizza for one weekend, man. And one other place, Prince Street.
Okay.
Prince Street. Sloppiest, best pizza ever, man. Oh my God, that square pepperoni slice.
Yeah.
Man, the whole pepperoni was on one slice. It was insane, man. You've had it, right?
Oh, yeah.
That flavor burst when you bite in.
Yeah.
But I'm in Patsy's, right? This is awesome. I ordered a pizza. I just wanted their plain pizza. That's how I judge, plain pizza, right? First thing I got when I came here, first time. And the pizza comes out and everything, and I was like, hold up. I said, don't eat it. He's like, what? It's wrong. I said, hold on. My friend Scott was with me. And the waiter comes, he goes, everything okay? I said, well, do you have any basil? He's like fresh basil? I said, yeah. He goes, I got you, man. I got you. You can tell these waiters have been there for 30 years, right? He's like, so it's like 5 minutes later, I'm like, our pizza's gonna get cold. Where's the basil? So he comes out with this little dish, right? And all the basil's wet. And all I can smell is basil over the pizza. So I said, come here. He's like, is that okay? I was like, where'd you get this basil? He goes, I went into the garden and picked it for you. I was like, are you joking? He goes, no. That's why it's wet. I had to clean it. I'm like, I've never had that ever in my life. where they went into their garden and picked the fresh basil for me. I was like,
Amazing.
what an experience, man. And it's old. Man, that place has got some history up there, man.
For sure.
And it's probably some history we probably should talk about. You know what I mean?
Arturo's as well.
Arturo's is killing.
Another great coal oven.
Oh, I love Arturo's,
Yeah.
man. Red sauce there. The red sauce at Arturo's is out of control.
Yeah.
I got a bowl of it, an extra bowl, and I ate it like soup. I was like, can I just get a bowl of sauce? And he's like, yeah. I took a spoon and I'm sitting there eating. It's funny, we're in Arturo's. There's this giant dude behind us, huge man, and his wife and another couple. And all of a sudden he starts talking about, who was the lead actor in My Cousin Vinny?
Frank.
No, the short dude. Joe
Pesci. Yeah.
Joe Pesci, right? And this guy's sitting behind us. You know what? F Joe Pesci. That dude owes me money. I can't stand this dude. If I ever see Joe Pesci again, I swear to God. And I'm sitting there going, wow, this is like the real thing happening behind me right now. Like, this is somebody that hangs with Joe Pesci. Like, you could tell it was there was some deal that they were talking. Like, we stayed out of it, but I'm like, yo, this guy's like, you hear him right now? So that's the type of spots these are. These are old school.
Yeah.
You know, this is a big one.
Okay.
Filomeno Castiglio.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Sally's. The
Okay.
original owner of Sally's, 1939. What about that?
Yeah, Sally's is great. Again, yeah, I went to New Haven, hit all the big ones, Zupardi's, Modern, Pepe, and Sally's. Equally as good, I think, as Pepe's. The thing that really stuck with me about Sally's was the potato pizza.
Oh, wow.
I had never seen that before. The first time I had it, thinly sliced potatoes, a little bit of rosemary.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I would like bacon on that. Bacon crumble on that would be nice.
Yeah, and during potato season this past fall, I did something very similar, directly inspired by that Sally's pie.
Well, they're an institution.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, Frank Sinatra would fly a helicopter, I believe, to pick up like 30 pizzas for his friends and everything. And he had his own phone on the wall. So if that phone rang, he's the only one that could call the phone.
Right.
If that phone rang, you stopped what you were doing and you answered that phone because you know it's Frank. He wants his pizzas, right? So I think that place has just become like legendary. Like, and it's since been bought out. There's new owners, but I tried it right after it got bought, and I was not disappointed. I thought it was fantastic. Now, I thought Zupardi's, for what I personally like, was just a slightly better for me, but it's like indistinguishable who's better. It's really depends on who you are as a person, you know.
Sure.
Now this is a surprising one. I left this for last because I don't know it. I've never heard of it. I don't know the owner. I don't even know the style. I don't have no idea. But I said, what is your favorite that's not on my list? And you said Peels on Wheels with the owner Luis Perez.
Yeah, Peels on Wheels Pizza Garage, Rochester, New York.
Rochester, not New York City, Rochester.
Rochester, yeah. I listened to a lot of pizza podcasts, and there was a pizza podcast with Luis on it. This was before he had opened a restaurant. He was just doing this mobile gig where he had one of those Italian Ape Piaggios. Have you seen those before?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's like a little three-wheel car, and it's got a trunk in the back that's open.
Okay.
And he put 3 Gosney ovens in it, and he would roll up to different events and cater.
So literally on wheels.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And he was talking about his pizza, and I could tell he was a scientist. Like, he was blending all these different flours, he was using a sourdough, he was using these different pre-ferments. And I was like, this guy is doing something different. He knows what he's talking
What
about.
style is it?
So he does different styles, but primarily New York,
Okay.
and then he does Detroit, Grandma, and Sicilian on different days of the week.
Okay. Now, is it a storefront yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on Culver Road in Rochester, like a little residential neighborhood, kind of out of the way, a lot like here. I definitely took a lot of inspiration from him.
What's the flavor profile like? If you had to name somebody, a pizza place that you've had, what would you say, just to give people an idea that might be watching this, like,
Yeah.
what would you say would be a close flavor profile?
I think he takes inspiration a lot from the places we've been talking about, the new school, New York's places like Mama Stew, Industry.
Oh, cool. So
Defara.
he's like more cutting edge, like modern kind of pizza.
Yeah, but I think he even pushes it further.
Wow. Can you? I mean,
Yeah, I went there the first time, I tasted the pizza, and it blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
I think I got to drive to Rochester this weekend, man.
Yeah, and he crushes it on every style. The Detroit's amazing, the Sicilian's amazing. He uses all local ingredients whenever possible, a lot like I'm trying to do. He breaks down whole chickens to make chicken sausage. He breaks down pork shoulder for the pork sausage. All stuff I'm taking inspiration from. Yeah.
But you get what you get out of your effort. You get what your product is what you get from your effort. So if you put in a little effort, you got a little product. You know.
Yeah.
I admire, like, there's a diner in Latham, New York, Diner Time, and those guys were restaurateurs from Jersey. You know, Jersey food is killing, man. Jersey's got it. Jersey hot dogs, Jersey pizza, Jersey wings,
burgers.
I mean, Jersey hits pretty hard on most fronts of food. But they owned the Standard in Crossgates Mall. They owned restaurants in Jersey, and they're not just a diner. I mean, when you go in there, you're getting homemade food. They make all their soups. They roast all their meats. It's impressive, but you can tell that they're putting the extra effort in. When you taste the food, you realize they actually made this. Like, it's not some pre-made crap that, and generic. It's not generic. They really care about what they're putting out. So it's nice to hear that these pizza guys are like going that next level with it. I'm definitely I think I'm gonna go out there this weekend, man. I might have to forego you on Saturday.
Please do.
And drive out to Rochester.
It's an experience.
Well, if you're endorsing them, with what I know about the effort that you've been putting in and the studying you've done, they've got to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I like Rochester anyway. There's a good jazz scene out there. I'm a drummer, so they have the Rochester Drum Exchange.
Yeah.
That's out there.
Eastman School of Music.
Eastman School of Music. There's a lot of cool things. I just played out. Not just. 2 years ago, I was touring, and we played in Rochester at a really cool place. I forget the name of it. It was a coffee shop, but it was gigantic and a huge stage. So it was pretty cool. And then it just happened to be the Rochester Jazz Festival was that same weekend. So at like 1:30 in the morning, I didn't know it. I was playing in Buffalo that night. And then somebody I met in Buffalo, he's a great piano player, said, "Are you going to the Rochester Jazz Festival?" And I said, "When is it?" He goes, "It's this weekend." He goes, "The jam session is happening right now at the Hyatt Hotel." I got my car. I was in Buffalo. I flew back. I got to the session at like 1:30 in the morning. I walk in the Hyatt. I can hear the music. I can't see anybody. There's nobody there, right? And walking around. I was finally like, where? Is anybody playing, or is that coming through the speakers? Like, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, they're playing. It's like, look over that banister right there. So I look over the banister, and I look down. Hundreds of people. It was crazy. And like all my friends from New York City, they were all on tour. They were all doing the festival. And I looked down, like, I know everybody down there. So I got in the elevator, I went downstairs, and immediately like, oh, dude, Barna, what's up, man? You gonna play? I was like, no, you gotta play. So they forced me to play. Check this out, it's so cool. Totally not pizza related, but one of the coolest musical experiences I've ever had, right? So I'm very brash. I will say anything to anybody, right? I just don't care, right? So I'm about to play. I finally caved. I said, all right, I'll play, right? And the guy's up there, he's about to shut down the session. There's like 250 people in this room, right? So I walked up to him and I said, bro, don't do that. And he's the lead, right? I'm nobody to him. He's like, why? I was like, I'm on tour. I just drove here from Buffalo. These are all my friends. I want to play with them. Can you just not do this? And he's like, I was like, dude, come on, man. I was like, don't do this. Like, let it go. Look at this. Look what's going on. He's like, all right. Let me talk to the head bartender. So he goes up, and he comes back and goes, she gave you a pass. She's going to stay open. Go for it. Bro, I got up there. I felt like I played like an entire night, right? Everybody's coming up to the bandstand. Benny Bannock and, all the top players in New York, alto players, piano players, the bass player. They're all like the top dudes, and we're up there, and we're like basically relaunched the jam session. We went for a long. It was wild. How many people were there? Like 3 a.m. playing jazz in this hotel, man. So that's my experience from the one time I was in Rochester. It was like nothing but love, and I know it's a rough city. It's rough around the edges, and there's some crime. But what I took away from this was just such a loving, positive, community of people that just wanted to share together. We wound up in the parking lot and singing pirate songs, singing traditional pirate music. We weren't in the best shape, okay? But one guy had a traffic cone on his head, and he's like, it was a wild night, man. So I have no problems driving back to Rochester, man. It was all love. Well, I want to continue, but I do want to make some pizza.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the pizza. I want to talk about your dough, if you don't mind.
Of course.
As we're making it, you can feel free to discuss where you sourced any of the stuff and what your recipe is for making cheese. We'll make other stuff, but to me, if you don't have a good cheese pizza, you don't have good pizza. You're just trying to cover it up with toppings.
Right.
That's what a lot of people do. We'll just throw pepperoni on it. It'll change the flavor, But if your cheese slice is killing, then you're killing, So feel free to talk about it. We're going to move on to that segment. But, man, so informative, man. So I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
The passion about this and your journey is pretty awesome, man. And we didn't mention this. You had to quit your job.
Yeah.
You had to quit your job.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Most people say, oh, they shouldn't do it. No, man. This is, you don't have a job anymore. Now you have a career. You're making a difference.
Yeah.
And I think that's more important than earning a paycheck, because if you're making a difference, the paycheck will come.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're honest about it, So you guys are doing it. So freedom, baby. Although we had to make you come in here on a Monday. Anyway, all right, let's go make some pizzas and eat. How we doing? We good? Oh, wow. Oh, look at that, man.
Yeah.
Look at that crust, man.
Pretty good. I like to slice it immediately to expel any steam.
Awesome.
We'll put it here.
Now, you put it on there to release some of the heat from the bottom?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So there's a perforated screen there. It'll keep the crust crispy.
Awesome.
24-month parm.
What does it say, 24 month?
24-month, yep. Usually it's even older. Usually it's around 30. And then I do it in 2 stages. First on the pie itself to give like a little blast of saltiness.
Okay. Now, I would say based on your sauce recipe, having that little extra bit of saltiness is going to add to the pizza rather than make it too much like sodium forward, too much salt forward.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that it was oversalted at all, and I think it's probably, now I know, because it's the sauce.
Right. And then torn fresh basil. Again, kind of like the fara. I like to tear it with my hands to release the essential oils.
And the aroma,
and the aroma, yep, yeah.
The odor of it is just, I smelled it. I was out there, I was like, I smell basil.
Yeah. Some people will just, toss a whole handful on there, but...
no, it's be strategic.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of my favorite parts of pizza is the basil. That looks so beautiful, man. Woo! Oh, man. That is thin.
Yeah.
No flop whatsoever. My man. All right, I'm taking a bite of this thing. Man. Just like the other day, it's so light. I love it. That's great.
Yeah, very good. And you could see the interior structure of the crumb.
What's up?
You could see the interior structure of the crumb, very light and airy.
So my mother
when she came here with me, she could typically eat one piece, right? I think she had 2 or 3 pieces, and she doesn't typically do that. And I think one of the reasons is it's not super heavy and dense. You can enjoy it, more of it. You know, I feel like some is so heavy, it's very difficult to get past that second slice.
Yeah.
And when I really like something, I want to eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I had 5.5 slices the other day, which is, don't do that. Okay, don't eat 5.5 slices of pizza. I'm a slob. All right? Is there anything that you think people should know? It could be about you, or it could be about going into business for yourself as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Things to look forward to, advice that you could give them on before you enter into an endeavor such as this. You might want to consider what?
Right.
Good advice, you know.
Well, first off, I would say go for it. Like, I was very hesitant, and I did like a lot of planning and thought, probably a bit too much, honestly. Like, I think I could have done this 4 years ago if I weren't so cautious, and like had 4 more years of like a happier life. So that would be my first piece of advice. And then maybe the second is just like, really gather the input of everybody around you.
Good advice, like good input.
Yeah.
What about for you? Did you have people try your homemade pizzas first?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got feedback from my family, my friends, like people that you trust that will give you critical feedback are really important.
What was, if you can remember one, if there even was one, there might not be, but the critical feedback you got that was the most hard to hear. Was there anything that you heard that you were like, oh, that really kind of like took the wind out of your sail for a second?
I can't think of like any particular one, but my dad is definitely the harshest critic.
Okay.
And I knew I was ready when he finally had no more critique.
Oh man, thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go. What's your father's name?
Tom.
Tom. Thank you. Thank you. Because of your approval, Troy, New York is a better place. All right. We love you, Tom. All right. Has Tom come in?
Oh yeah.
All right, man. I would love to meet him, man.
Yeah, they were here my whole family was here on my first day open. It was, one of the best moments of my life.
It's nice to have your father's approval. I think that as a young man, having the gentleman that you've looked up to your whole life say, "You're going to do good, son." It's a good feeling to have him on your side. And he would know.
Exactly.
He's been in the business, man. He's not going to lie to you. That's the other thing.
Yep.
Your dad ain't going to lie to you, man.
That's right.
One, because he doesn't have to. And 2, because the last thing that your father wants to see is his son fail. Mm-hmm. So I think that having him on your side is a real boost. It's a real pleasure. It's a real treat to hear your background. And again, I just wish you many, many years of success.
Thank you so much, Joe.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See, that was painless, right?
Yeah, it's fun. Have some pizza.
Bill, oh, you got to get on this, brother.